that I played the most as a kid because like I only had my Dreamcast for a short period of time, and then I had the PS2 for a lot longer, and this was a PS2 game. So this is the one that I'm actually the most familiar with. This is the one I made it further in. Like in the first game, I didn't even make it to the first boss fight, and that's at least it's less than a quarter of the way through the game, but it's no, it is. It's a fifth of the way through the game, and I made this a solid like quarter to a third of the way into this one. So like I didn't beat it, but I got substantially further in comparison. So, but the way the last game ended, we just watched that one together. Check this out. It's almost beat for beat in some ways, but it's just way more high res. It's because it was a pre-rendered cutscene. Look at that.
I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers? Did it trouble you when you...
And I think it's much more well delivered, even though it cuts out a few things. I think it summarizes, essentially anyway. But their HD remaster, they're trying to get the models to look a lot more like they did in these types of cutscenes than what they did. Which I thought the second game did a good job in my opinion back in the day, but I do like the new models a lot.
And streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? As such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
And this is the game that gets the biggest into philosophy. Like, this is the one I played the most. This is the first one that really stepped into its philosophical discussion. And so it really did. It just cultivated my love for philosophy well before I realized what it was doing.
His enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nosgoth from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are open, Cain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
See, I kind of don't like the change in Mobius, though. Like, I do, but I don't.
If you'd prefer I use my bare hands.
This is completely unexpected.
I like the way his hood
This
sits
orb
with the
disables
original
our vampire
graphics.
enemies, leaving them
And he seems a bit more
helpless and
expressive
incapacitated.
like that, too.
Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours.
I think Mobius is
But
the
you
only one I
must
have any real
believe
problem
me.
with so
I
far.
mean you no harm.
I'm excited to see what Vorador
You
looks
can
like.
drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know
I'm excited to see what
and
Janos
what
looks
you
like.
are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Cain, some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Cain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
I love Raziel's just level of sass sometimes.
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since
He can be
passed.
quite sarcastic when he wants to be.
This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary
Indecorous,
army now
that's a word.
inhabits this stronghold.
There's your bingo
We
word for
strive to
tonight.
honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Cain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then. But consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Cain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you. Even now, Cain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Cain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Cain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few martyrs.
I just realized something about that conversation too.
I surveyed my surroundings.
Give me a
and
second,
noticed
I'll get
a
into it.
second time streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how? I had not yet discovered.
Okay, so Mobius tries to make him look like a, kind old man, doddering old soothsayer. But dude is kind of a genius. And he's trying to make a genocidal war on the vampire species that ends up being wildly successful. Like, at the time Cain chose to condemn the Pillars, he was the last vampire in the entire world. So the vampire-ruled future we saw, every vampire that existed started from Cain. And so that's why he was the emperor, that's why he ruled the world. There was nothing and no one to contest him, nobody more ancient than him. So by him saying, don't fear the people that are going to try and kill you on the way out, you're no match for them, but try not to kill a ton of them, but go ahead and kill a few, because I can blame their deaths on the vampires and strengthen the cause. That, I never realized that before, but I mean, Raziel tells him he's out of his depth with this whole chaos between him and Cain. But it's funny because Raziel's right and he's wrong. He's right in the sense that he just doesn't really know the biggest player on the board, but neither does Raziel. And the whole debate is realistically about, while it's philosophical in the sense of, fatalism, the world history is immutable. It can't change. It's just going to happen the way that it needs to happen, except for under very, very small circumstances that can cause a change. But aside from that, Raziel is consistently trying to find the most morally right reason to do what he's trying to do. And I think that's a staple of his character throughout all of his iterations, because he used to be a human, a Seraphan. And he was devout to the cause, so much so that he was part of the original campaign against the vampires. After that, he was woken by Cain, and he didn't have any memory of his human past, so he was 100% devoted to Cain, felt it was right to honor thy father, basically, because that's what Cain was to him at that point. It was all he knew. And so he participated in the campaign against humans because he's not human. He was taught that, the glory of the vampires, we're a superior species. So it still felt right to him. But after the betrayal by Cain, and going after him and figuring out everything out, he thought humanity was more noble than vampires. Because vampires were the symbol of the corruption of the planet. Right. But that just flat out isn't the case. Especially for him, because while he slaughtered vampires back in the day, there was no nobility in it. They were cruel. They basically tortured vampires all because they thought it was the right thing to do. Even ones that weren't there to hurt anybody. They slaughtered Janos Audrin when he didn't attack people unless he absolutely had to. But, yeah. So it's always about morality for Raziel. And that's something that I don't actually see a lot of people talk about. Okay, a straight up jump is a lot slower than one with momentum. I guess that makes sense. Gotta make sure most of the buttons are still the same. Oh, that was a heavy smash, not a throw. Oh, I see that might be a problem. I should change that real quick. Game options. Control options. Triangle. Oh, that's a big difference. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. Because map is attached to the glyph menu anyway. That's, yeah, I wanted that to be touchpad. And then, yeet, nice. I should put block on a back button. Or one though, not throw. Maybe throw. No, maybe I have to put. I think I have to put eat soul on back button again. Okay, well. Okay. Come here, sword. But I liked R1 to feed. I thought it was a cool way to still look around when I was doing it. That's crouch. Yeah, okay. Is there just a default button? Reset? Yeah, okay. Look around, R2. I'll make that. That's R2. Okay, cool. No. L1, R2, L2. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll be happy with that. Oh, maybe not. Because I have R2 and R1 right here. Crouch, look around. I'll put look around here. Okay. Gotta figure out how I want the game to play. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Here it comes.
What the hell? Excuse me, do you mind? We're not done fighting. Yeah, no kidding. See, hold on though. Look at this difference. It's not a massive difference anymore. Like, they were better in the second game than they were in the first one. Yeah, there's still some definite high quality changes, but Raziel looks a lot better in the second game than he did the first one. And I still like the way this looks. It's not a massive difference, but there are a few things that they changed, like his skin isn't as bright. I don't know. It's still cool to see the difference though. There we go. That's a potential thumbnail. Alright, circle now.
There's another.
As a power. Alright. Oh. Give me just a second.
Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Cain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't just change the one I'm locked onto? I'm glad the souls in this game take longer to disappear than the ones in the last game. Like, holy cow, last ones went quick. Which door opened? Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. Cool beans. That was something I always appreciated as a kid, was being able to keep the powers that you got from the first game, because, you know, I never unlocked those powers in the first game.
Away from the influence of Mobius's cursed staff, I could feel the strength of the Soul Reaver slowly returning. If that orb was as debilitating to vampires as it was to the blade, it gave Mobius a powerful advantage over his enemies. I finally understood how Mobius's crusade could decimate the vampires so successfully. If he could immobilize his enemies, they were at his mercy. But why, I wondered, would the staff have any effect on the Reaver?
Yeah, I don't have the quick shot button that I did in the first game. Ooh. Okay, so the Soul Reaver just evaporates a human body outright. Got it. That's cool. It would have been a lot cooler if I could have kept it. you mind? Problem solved. Oh, and the Reaver's back. Cool. Welcome back.
Taste my blade, vampire.
Okay. Alright, whatever.
As I neared the stronghold's inner sanctum, a strange sensation crept over me. An indescribable feeling of displacement, a sense of vertigo, as reality itself appeared to warp and bend around me. The disturbance seemed to emanate from the sanctuary's furthest chapel. As I cautiously approached, the sense of dislocation intensified with each step. So this was the tomb of the beloved King William the Just, beatified here as the martyr and catalyst of Mobius's crusade. I was reminded of Kane's journey as a fledgling vampire, how Mobius coerced him to travel back in history and assassinate William, thus igniting a genocidal hatred of vampires among the citizens of Nosgoth. And here I discovered the source of the displacement. The Soul Reaver itself, laid out like a holy relic, and broken, apparently in the battle between William and Kane. I had not thought such a thing was possible. Until, of course, Kane shattered the blade against me when he tried to strike me down. Thus, the captive spirit inhabiting the Reaver was released, and binding itself to me, became my symbiotic weapon. And so the Reaver met its former self, still imprisoned in this corporeal shell. I watched, mesmerized, as the Wraith blade uncoiled itself and snaked down the length of the physical blade. Embracing its twin, its mirror self, the Reaver's long-dormant spirit was now fully aroused. And for the first time, I felt the true presence of this other entity, willful, ravenous, and deranged from thousands of years of imprisonment. The Reaver was now in command, and I, now merely its helpless host, felt my soul being leached to restore the blade. But the Reaver knew better than to destroy its host, and just as I neared the brink of oblivion, the blade released its hold on me. As I recovered, I realized we were now bound together in a fragile alliance. The Reaver no longer
seeing Mobius freaking out there in the background's really cool.
But a sentient parasite.
Raziel's just sitting still. What?
What have you done to me, Mobius? Is this your trap?
How mine? Don't forget it was Kane who led you here, not I. While you curse me, the only soul in Nosgoth ready to guide and assist you, Kane laughs at our folly and revels in your dismay.
These blades, now coiled in sinister embrace, have inspired terror in the hearts of creatures far more durable than you, old man. Bound together as they are, I can only imagine what they could do to your soul's fragile shell.
Raziel, I beg you to stay your hand. This was none of my doing. I have sought only to aid you in your righteous quest.
Why, you're trembling, Mobius. Has your confidence abandoned you? You seem to have made a fatal error by leaving your precious staff behind. Is that where all your courage comes from?
Listen to me, Raziel. You don't know what you're doing. I have taken an enormous risk by appearing here before you, so defenseless, yet eager to prove my good intentions. If there's anything left of the Seraphim in you, you won't do this. While you threaten me, your true enemy eludes you.
Don't concern yourself with Kane, old man. He'll join you in hell soon enough. As you said, death
comes for us all.
Yes, the wheel of fate demands it.
What did you say?
The wheel of fate. The inexorable cycle of death and rebirth to which all men are compelled. We serve the same God, Raziel. To strike me down would be striking God's own attendant. And I don't believe even you would take that risk.
I tire of your games, Mobius. Now that I know you fear me, I needn't concern myself with you. Cain is waiting for me.
Go then, Raziel. Seek Cain out and destroy him in the name of the one God we both serve. You, who were once a Seraphim priest, murdered, profaned, destroyed, and reborn again from his mercy. You are now most powerfully equipped to be his agent, his instrument of restoration and retribution.
Okay, I take it back. Mobius's change in model is hilarious. It's the best change. His lip movements during all of that was hilarious.
You almost had me.
That would have been
My little
terribly
green
ironic.
assassin.
Thank you, Cal.
But that'll be the one and only chance you get. I assure you of that.
I'm
could
really
now
curious
summon the blade at
how
will,
much the
regardless of
story
my
would
strength.
change if Raziel
once
did kill
summoned,
him right there.
the
If he
blade's
didn't mention
ravenous
the Elder
appetite
God,
could not be
or if
contained.
Raziel
It
was further
devoured the
down the
souls of its
path of
victims,
realizing what
and
was
if
really
I
going
allowed it
on
to
with the
become
Elder God,
over-aroused,
he would have
the
killed
Reaver would
Mobius right
now
then and
turn its
there.
hunger on
And
me.
Mobius would have seen how out of his depth he really is. But, like, those were the conditions to change history in this universe, was the Soul Reaver and Raziel coming into contact. And so, like, that's the one time Raziel really gets where he could have killed Mobius and derailed so much of history. Like, a lot would have changed right then and there. And Raziel would have been the one, like, the one thing to know that something changed. That would have been massive. Like, Cain... This is before Cain was born. And Mobius played a huge part in Cain's life. So if Mobius was dead, killed by the Soul Reaver, and enhanced by Raziel's Wraithblade, his soul would have been completely devoured. Then that whole interaction technically wouldn't have even been possible, because Mobius put the blade in Cain's path and let him go back in time to kill William the Just, or the Tyrant, the I think that's what he was actually called, was the Tyrant. I don't really remember. Either way, oh, the Nemesis. He grew up to be a tyrant called the Nemesis. And that's what Cain grew up knowing him as, was the Nemesis. So he took the Soul Reaver blade, went back in time to before the Nemesis became the Nemesis, killed himself as the young boy king, and was the new kickstart for Mobius's campaign against the vampires. He was now William Just, the martyred saint of Nosgoth. And that's what led to where we are now, where almost all the vampires are dead. So, like, if Mobius was dead, none of that would have gone down. We wouldn't be in this timeline anymore. That would have been wild to see. Raziel would have found out the hardest way possible
reputed to
what
have been the most ancient and
how history was
vampire
immutable.
to have ever existed. According to folklore, he lived high in the cliffs of Nosgoth's northern mountains and preyed mercilessly on the defenseless villages below. His reign of terror ended when the Seraphim finally hunted him down and tore his throbbing heart from his still living body. This relic came to be known as the Heart of Darkness, and was supposedly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife. The Seraphim, therefore,
I never really realized before, but this part right here, that's Raziel in the armor.
But I wonder,
that's him in the mural, and he has no idea right now. I didn't piece that together before.
Artistic license by the Seraphim, who sought to lionize themselves by demonizing their darkest enemy.
I have to see if I can remember how to call upon the blade. Tap circle twice to activate the Soul Reaver. Okay. There we go. This is something you couldn't do in the first game. You can summon it at will now. Use it whenever the hell you want. Can I kill the mice? I thought I could kill mice. I guess not. Oh, there's somebody there. Okay. Well, I still need the souls to heal myself, so sometimes using the Soul Reaver Blade is not the best option. I do like that I have it activated in game, so when I walk in here, it's still glowing on my arm.
How my history came full circle. This chapel, I realized, was a memorial to my former Sarafan brethren and myself. All of us martyred here, and then so cruelly profaned by Cain when he imposed his gift on our noble corpses. For the first time, I beheld the image of my Sarafan self, memorialized here among my fallen comrades. It tortured me to see how noble and pure I had been, and what a vile phantasm I had become. And a profound sense of injury, of loss and betrayal welled up in me, so overwhelming I could barely contain it. All I wanted at this moment was to find Cain and destroy him.
You know what I think made the difference? I think it's the fact that as a Wraith, he doesn't really have anybody to look up to and trust anymore. Like, he wholeheartedly trusted in the people that he worked for. He thought it was the right thing to do, and that's partially why. But now as a Wraith, he doesn't have anybody in that role for him. So now he just wants to find the truth, the best truth that he can get, be on the right side of history, do the right thing. But he doesn't know what that is yet. Yeah, I came from that way. I'm going this way. No, I came from that way. I really have no idea which way I came from. That's a staircase. I didn't come from stairs, I know that much.
First time beheld Nosgoth in its former glory. The land overflowed with abundant life and vitality. And I knew with certainty then that the world I had left behind was nothing more than the corpse of Nosgoth, a lifeless husk bled dry by the corruption of Cain's parasitic empire. This was the fragile world Cain sacrificed to preserve his own petty life and ambition, heedless of the profound cost. The sight only deepened my resolve. I sensed that the pillars lay to the northwest. If Cain truly waited to confront me there, I would not disappoint him.
It's not the right way. But yes, it is.
As I passed this arcane landmark, a wisp of the Reaver's energy was drawn into the ring, illuminating it. This created a beacon of sorts in the spirit world. If ever I found myself depleted in the spectral realm, and my soul tossed on the ethereal winds, these beacons would draw me back to safety and restore me.
And we got a checkpoint system. It's a massive difference to the first game. You don't have to travel the whole world to get back to where you left off. Excuse me, I would like to look around. Thank you. Yeah, that way. Okay. And these were the save points. Let's go.
These ancient obelisks were mysteriously attuned to my spiritual essence. By simply touching the symbol, I could safely preserve an imprint of my soul, and thus create a milestone to which I could return when weary, and from which I could resume my journey.
There's nothing subtle about that. This is where you save your progress. I will say it's cool that it's shaped like the Soul Reaver, just based on, like, what did he say? What did he just say? He said these things had an inherent connection to him, right? And it's shaped like the Soul Reaver. I think it's cool. It's just, they subtly foreshadowed the game, like the story of it, through just a mechanic. I don't think I've ever seen anybody talk about that either, but that's always been the case.
While I had only just escaped the stronghold, I sensed that in time my journey would return me full circle to this place. Infiltrating the fortress, however, would be no small feat. The balcony that had provided my escape was now well beyond my reach, leaving this massive gateway as the only means of entry. The gates were sealed, but like the time-streaming chamber I had seen earlier, their operation was undoubtedly linked to that odd crystal mounted above the entrance.
Seize him!
Oh. No, I can't really do that. That feels a little better to me, at least.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Oh, they got guns too. Fuck you. Ow. The biggest downside to starting this game from the beginning is my health bar is so much smaller in this game than it was in the last one. Or at least the end of the last one when I had gotten all the health power-ups. Hi guys. You mind? Dude, quit spamming your quickest attack possible. I need to get away from this bitch. She's gonna kill me. What? Am I just in first person? Why is that happening? Throw it. Why is this so tough? Ah. I could really use a soul for myself right now. Reaver Blade, if you could not get me killed, that would be phenomenal.
Seize him.
There we go. Needed that. Okay, so the birds just aren't real. that's nice. Ooh, they got a dog? Leave me alone. I don't want to kill a dog. Oh, that's the one mean looking dog. What the hell? Okay. Never really expected that one. I don't think I ever really noticed that as a kid. Hey, leave me alone. Nah. We're just gonna keep moving. What's this? Why do I care about this? I don't think I do. They can fuck off. Eat my fucking dust. No! Okay. Oh! Okay. Okay, I don't know where. I'm back at the bridge. I'm back where I started. This is let me know. It's a lot more peaceful.
These vampires had nothing in common with the deranged jackals I left behind in Kain's derelict empire. They seemed to retain much of their former humanity. In this era, vampires were clearly not the uncontested predators we had been. These creatures were hunted mercilessly and oppressed. And while I still believed that vampirism was a plague and had to be wiped out, there was nothing noble or righteous in this crusade. This was simply ruthless persecution.
And the cracks of human morality are beginning to form for him. Is the music off-key in the spectral realm? It sounds different. Oh, there's just no portal back here. Okay. How far back do I gotta go for a portal? Oh, that's what this spot was. That makes sense, I guess. What? Over where? No, no. I'm not here. Don't. I mean, ignore me. Don't mind me. Oh, okay, they did not ignore me. Okay, that's freaky to watch. See, look, that dog was running up the steps. Okay, it's gone now, I guess. Ah. Nah, nothing for you to worry about. See? This was all preventable. You could have just ignored me and gone on with your day. I can't dash at them the way I could in the last game. That's fucking me up a lot. I keep trying to double jump or like skid towards them and strike, because they're always just out of range. There we go. Is there anything this way? No. Okay, good. Couldn't tell, so got a light glare on the TV. Did she just dodge me? Wait a minute.
The pillars of Nosgoth, pristine, whole, and uncorrupted. I had never beheld them in this undefiled state, yet something profound and indelible resonated within me at the sight. And there, waiting at the very heart of the pillars, was the canker that was destined to destroy them.
I know you're there, Raziel.
Mobius led me to you, Cain, though I might have guessed you'd meet me here.
And if Mobius told you I was hidden on the underside of hell, would you throw yourself into oblivion to pursue me? Mobius trawls for the ignorant and unwary, hauling his gasping prey from the streams of their destinies. Stay out of his net, Raziel.
Spare me your elaborate metaphors, Cain. I have pursued you here for one purpose. You will pay for your betrayal, and balance will thus be restored to Nosgoth.
And whose will is satisfied then? The will of Raziel or Mobius?
Would I be better manipulated by you, Cain? Now, turn and face me. The chase is over.
This isn't a chase, Raziel. We are merely passengers on the wheel of destiny, describing a perfect circle to this point. We've been brought here for a reason. I've seen the beginning and the end of our story, however, and the tale is crude and ill-conceived. We must rewrite the ending of it. You and I.
Face me, Cain. Even you shouldn't die a coward's death.
Isn't it customary to grant the condemned a final request?
I recall no such courtesy from you.
Indulge me, Raziel. All I ask is that you listen. This is the sublime moment of our undoing, Raziel. the ineffable fulcrum upon which swings the entirety of our history. This is where all of Nosgoth is betrayed. In this instant, Ariel, the Balance Guardian, is murdered by dark forces bent on overthrowing the Pillars. Her spirit is just now tearing free, lost in the ether, trying to find its way here. You have already seen how she comes to haunt these Pillars.
Bound here by your refusal to die. You are the reason this land becomes diseased. As long as you remain alive, you condemn Nosgoth to an eternity of decay.
Be still, Raziel. See this. As Ariel dies, I am being born to take her place as Balance Guardian. Such is my destiny.
My God.
At the moment of my first cry, Ariel's beloved, the Guardian Nupraptor, finds her corpse. Racked with grief and tormented by suspicions of treachery, Nupraptor plunges into a madness which overflows and infects all of the Guardians who are symbiotically bound, including me. The repercussions of Ariel's assassination were expertly calculated. The entire circle descends into madness, and I am tainted at the moment of my birth, instantly rendered incapable of fulfilling the role destiny has prepared for me.
Shall I show you the same mercy you showed the rest of the circle, then? You blithely murdered them to restore their pillars, yet your hand faltered when it came to the final sacrifice. What makes you exempt, Cain? You're merely the last man standing. Why condemn me for simply carrying out what you hadn't the courage to do yourself?
Let's drop the moral posturing, shall we? We both know there's no altruism in this pursuit. Your reckless indignation led you here. I counted on it. There's no shame in it, Raziel. Revenge is motivation enough. At least it's honest. Hate me, but do it honestly. 30 years hence, I am presented with a dilemma. Let's call it a two-sided coin. If the coin falls one way, I sacrifice myself and thus restore the pillars. But as the last surviving vampire in Nosgoth, this would mean the annihilation of our species. Mobius made sure of that. If the coin lands on the reverse, I refuse the sacrifice and thus doom the pillars to an eternity of collapse. Either way, the game is rigged.
We agree, then, that the pillars are crucial and must be restored.
Yes, Raziel. And that's why we've come full circle to this place.
So after all this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new Guardians can be born.
The pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Cain.
There's a third option. A monumental secret, hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Cain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently so. But suppose you throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
It's probably the most infamous line in the entire series. Alright. Bars. Hella bars. It's funny too, because, like, while Raziel is trying to take the moral high ground, it's because he wants to be doing the right thing. Or at least have an honest reason for doing things. So Cain really cut deep for him, being like, dude, quit with the bullshit. I know you just want to kill me because you're mad at me. That's fine. Just be honest about it. Alright. I'm glad to have gotten this far. I'm gonna go to the next save, and then we'll be done for the night. But I'm gonna get this this screenshot. Yeah. Come on. That's a hell of a shot right there. There we go. I like that. Maybe with the blade. There we go. Moving on.
I didn't know what impulse stayed my hand, why I had so willingly allowed Cain to escape me when I had pursued him for so long. I had no reason to trust Cain after he had valued me so little, and yet I found myself intrigued by his words. I had been too cruelly used to so gullibly play his pawn, but if this world truly had secrets to divulge, I was determined to expose them.
I'm really curious why those... Oh. Okay, I want to know in universe why those have the realm shifting rune. Like, I know for gameplay reasons it's telling me to shift, because I haven't actually had to do that yet. Well, not for environmental reasons anyway. But like... Yeah, I'm curious in universe why that says that there. Are they dodging me? That's insane. Why? I'd really like to know why they can do it and I can't. Block? I think all I can do is block.
From the moment of my arrival, I had the constant and palpable sensation of being watched. Someone, it seemed, was keenly interested in my presence here.
So I know this is a checkpoint, but I don't know if I continue from this point, if I leave the game and come back. I'm pretty sure that was just the Soul Reaver-like structure from before. So I think I have to get to one of those, because that's the actual save point. I don't know. I'm going to consider this far enough for tonight, because I am tired. It's 2 a.m. So, it's going to be it for now. We end the game with a sense of being watched. Wonder if it has anything to do with these, you know, not real birds. Either way, this was fun. I'm glad to have gotten through the first game and started the second. I really haven't played the second game since I was like 7 or 8 years old. Like, I was probably 12 at the absolute oldest the last time I played this one. And while I hadn't played Soul Reaver 1 really since I was a little kid, I tried playing it. Well, I did try and play Soul Reaver 2 on Twitch a few years back, but it was the Steam port, and it was really poor. It was a really poor version of the game. But I had played Soul Reaver 1 and made it past the Malkaya and Kain fight on PS3 a few years back in like 2020, 2021. So I had played a little bit of it and made it further than I had, but once I had gotten to the Zephon fight, that's where it was officially like, okay, this is the furthest I've ever actually been. Because as a kid, I didn't make it to Malkaya. Which part is sad? Oh, it's nice to get up and stretch after just sitting down for the last few hours. Oh yeah, the Steam ports were awful. Like for Soul Reaver 1, 2, Blood Omen, and Blood Omen 2. I'm not even sure Blood Omen 1 is on Steam. But all of the ports had issues. The best way to play the games were emulation before the remasters and the ports onto PS5 and PS4. But like, yeah, it was really sad. I booted it up and I tried to stream it on Twitch, and the stream did not last very long because the game did not function very long. And it was in a bad, like, how to explain it? We're in full screen right now on this stream, and imagine the image was like a quarter of the size and on the top right hand of a black screen. That's basically what it was on the stream. I was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, there was a lot of issues with the Steam port. I think there were guides on Steam to be like, this is how you can fix it, but it was just too much work that I didn't want to go through. Like, this is Steam. You shouldn't have to go through all these back alley ways to make your game work on Steam. It's supposed to be an official port. But, of course, emulation turned out to just be the best way of playing it. Not that I'm officially condoning emulation or anything. It's not like it's the superior way to play games when there's no other way to play them. But regardless, yeah. Alright, well, this is a good night. See you on the flip side.